Hello and welcome to Magzie's Fun Time. This is Magzie and we are back here on Feed the Beast Beyond 1.10 edition. This episode, first episode, I will not be going into what I did off camera. I will be just doing the last 3 territorials for our Psy here, and that will be uploading separate so you guys can just watch this episode or this video if you want to see the territorials. And for the most part, unless it's something that I need to show you guys, I'll be doing the rest of them off camera and showing you guys how I did it and how it works if it's relevant. So the only thing I'm worried about getting to with Psy is breaking the blocks. So that's where I'm going to get to, and then probably I won't do much more with it. So last episode we did the very first one, and as you can see, this one is a little less lengthy talking wise. So let's get into it. Territorial 2, let's talk about number parameter. We saw last time, you'll notice that the parameter has an extra option in the center. It means the parameter is optional. By selecting the center, you can disable it. In our case, the number parameter is simply a label of sorts. It can be useful if we have a more complex spell where we have multiple targets being sent out to chat. It requires a number, so let's give it one. We now have access to the constant number piece. Add a number parameter to your debug piece and add the constant number piece to your grid. Connect it to your debug when you set the number by clicking on the piece and just typing the number on your keyboard. Now that we're dealing with multiple parameters, we can assume that in more complex grids, not everything will be adjacent just as it currently is. That's where connectors, another piece introduced here, come in. Connectors do exactly as they say and allow a piece to connect to another. They are like wire. You can put a connector adjacent to a piece and it'll transfer whatever that piece contains to whatever it is on the end of the connector. You can make connectors line up with other connectors if what you need is far away. A single connector line can be sent blah 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 blah. Remember, to level up, you need to make a spell using the piece highlighted in the red. So, right here. So we want to use the debug trick and put a constant number on it. So, we have in here from last episode, we have the caster here and the debug trick here. If we click this here, you see that there's a number constant, and what we do is we select the direction here, and then we select that one and right click and we put the number constant here. Now if we wanted to, this is what the connector can do. We can put the number constant here and put this as the connector, and then have it set to that way. See how that did it? So it still counts it as successful, and any direction here, and you can go however many blocks away you want to. So we're going to move this back, and we're just going to delete this one here, and that still means it's okay. And then in here, we're going to put this back, and we're going to get this thing out again. We're going to debug 2. Rename that to debug 2. Click that. Should click that in. Pull that back out. make sure that debug is selected, and then right click again. There we go. Every time you level up, you will get more of your little side energy that's over there. So don't worry about that. And then we move on to the next one. Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is boring. When do we start doing cool stuff? Well, now. It's time to introduce a trick that actually does some sort of interaction with the world. Bringing in the trick add motion. This trick, as you'll expect, adds movement to an entity. It takes the entity, the vector, and a number constant, as you should have figured out already. The selector caster returns an entity player, which, if you use with your new trick add motion, you could use it to add movement to the player character. The vector is the direction in which you want to move, movement to be added. And the number constant is the speed at which you want to apply. Obviously, you can get this number using constant number. We do not have any great tricks up our sleeves to get to the vector for this trick, but we do have operator entity look, which gets you the vector corresponding to the direction of the player is looking. If we pass that into the trick add motion, the player character will move in the direction they are looking. As for the number, go with 3 for now. You can change it, of course, but 3 is a good one. You'll notice what happens if you modify the constant. The number on the right hand, on the right changes. The numbers on the right change. I'll show you that in a second. These numbers are relevant now. They are the stat at which your spell. The stat of your spell matches up with your CAD. If any of your spell stats are below the stat of your CAD, you won't be able to cast the spell. I think that's supposed to be above. It's supposed to be above. No, below. So the stat on your CAD are below. I guess that would be right. From the top to the bottom, and the following stats of the following complexity. The amount of actions your spell has, constant, connectors, and debug tricks aren't counted. So just remember that one. Potency is the power of the spell. As you increase your power, the power of your tricks, this goes up. Cost. The amount of psi, the energy bar on the right hand of your screen, your spell is going to consume. This doesn't match up to any CAD stat, but it is affected by the CAD's efficiency. The actual value that is consumed is 1 inside parentheses. The higher of the efficiency of your CAD, the less extra you'll pay. Projection is the amount of tricks in your spell. Debug trick aren't counted. Bandwidth is the width or height of your spell, whichever is highest. If you find you're going over this, try making your spell more compact. Okay, so we have add motion trick and entity operator look. Okay, so inside, everything has to do with, well, for the majority of the stuff, it has to do with the vector. The vector is the direction a block is looking. Every block in Minecraft has a vector, including you, the flowers here, entities on the ground. If I throw this torch down right here, that torch has a vector. All right, so just be mindful of that. So when they talk about vectors, that's what they're talking about. So right now, we're going to clear this Well, actually, we're going to grab our next CAD because we want to keep this one. Yep. Can't believe we did that. Stop that. We want to put this in our inventory here, and we're going to right click on here. What? I had to delete everything. Anyway, you can just click on it. There we go. Everything's gone. So, you want to add the trick in here, add motion. And we need a target, a direction, and a speed. The target is going to be the selector caster. And we're going to select that as the target. The direction here is going to be entity look. So, and we're going to, nope. And here we can add a connector to this side here, and then we can select up here, and that here is the direction. So there we go. So this connects to that, which connects also to the selector caster, which is why that connector's there. And then you don't need two different things on the board. And then the speed here, they said to go with 3. So we're just going to put this on here, and I'm going to put it at 1. And we're going to select the speed there. And you see right here, the stats will change. So if I select this and I hit 2, see how the side went up? And they said to go with 3, so we hit 3, and that's the actual cost there, which is way more than what we have. So I'm going to go with 2. 500, yeah, because we have 600, right? You can go out and check with scrolling over things. We have 600, so 1200 would kill us. If I believe it uses energy based on that. Okay, so that saved it. Stop that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, gotta redo that one. And then 2 is fine. I meant to go down here. Stop that. Move. There we go. And we got to put this back on there again and put it to 2. There we go. And then if we hit this here and we put our CAD in here and put this one in here, when we take it back out, put it on our inventory here, you will see that we can press C here, and now we have debug 2 and move. We're going to select move here, and then we're cast it. There we go. As you see, that drained everything we got, but for casting that we leveled up, and you'll see once we get to the top here that we have 800 now instead of 600. So every time you level up, it gives you about 200 into your inventory here. So we press C again, and we hit learn. And this is the last territory I want to do on camera. The rest of this I'm going to do off camera. Side metal infusion is something I'll probably go into with you guys. Yeah, this is the one we're trying to get. Let's sequence in there. Place block. Yeah. So here we go. Do you like explosions? Of course you do. Let's make a spell that explodes on the block the player is looking at. For this, we're going to need the trick explode. This takes a vector and a number constant, similar to the trick add motion. This constant is the power of the trick. The vector is where you want the explosion to happen. We already used the entity look, but that gives us a vector that is very short. If we used that, the explosion would happen in our face. Instead, we want to use the operator vector ray trace. This operator takes the position and array both vectors from the position in which the players which will be the player's position acquirable through the operator entity position. The operator extender the ray parameter vector until it collides with a block in the world. Note the operator entity position returns a vector whose y value is 1.6 higher than usual if used on the player. Therefore, if we use it along with operator entity look, we can find out where the player is looking at and cast our explosion there. One thing we have to keep in mind is that the fact that the spells are to a range of 32 blocks from the player's focal point, in our case the player casting the spell. Our explosion cannot be further than 32 blocks away. Alright. Lastly, error suppressor piece does exactly what it describes. It sometimes goes, if something goes wrong while casting your spell, if you get an error in your chat telling you what went wrong. Sometimes that can get annoying if you know a spell is has a possible failure state. In that case, throw the error suppressor on anywhere and it just suppresses the error message in your chat. This will be the last basic tutorial. So we have explode, entity position, vector raycast, and the error suppressor message. After this, it'll give us a choice of three options to actually go forward, and I will be doing all these off camera. I will describe most of this stuff for you guys when it comes available for doing what the spells I need to do. So, excuse me, guys. I'm getting very nauseous today. So we want to be able to use the explosion, and they want us to take the explosion and use the entity look, and then raycast on that. So go here. We are going to clear all of this stuff out here. There we go. And in the middle here, we are going to go explosion trick. Now it wants a position and a power. The position is the entity look, which is going to target raycast vector. There we go. Is that right? We'll find out. So it'll tell us if it's wrong. And we also want a power, which we just need to put a constant, which is here. And we want to make sure that this constant is within our spell range here. And we want to go down with that. Now it says this one is wrong. Hold for more information. Target entity. Is this wrong? Let's change this to caster. And this one to raycast. Right? Yeah, localization raycast result maximum 32. So I need another one of these, right? And then that's going to be 32. And that will be max. And position. That's wrong. Right? Let's look. Caster there. And so if we select this, I believe the max is not needed, so we can delete that. And we do need the ray though. Do we put caster here? No. Oh my god. Let's delete this. Stop. Delete. Delete. Position. And that is caster, and then we hit this over here, and it's still saying that this one is wrong. The number constant? No. Delete. All right. Maybe I'm confusing something. Let's get it daytime again. We'll go back in here and reread that part. Okay. I was like, did you not work? Vector is where you want the explosion to happen. Okay. Entity look. But that gives us a vector of very short range. We want to use raycast. Okay. The position at which the player's position acquired through the operator entity position. The operator extends the ray parameter vector until it collides with the block. Okay. We use the entity. Therefore, if we use the entity, we use it alongside entity look, we can find out where the player is looking. All right. So I did the raycast, entity look, and then this one has to. Oh, hello, Enderman. Entity position. Of the caster. Right? And it also delete caster. And caster. And target. Target. That's not working. There's only one target, so it has to be empty position. the caster here, and we put the position here, and the ray up. This way. Delete. Delete. We put entity position here, and then caster here. Make that target. Ah! It can be frustrating sometimes, guys. Let's read this one more time. The explode trick takes the operated look. If we used operated look, but that gives us the vector. It's very short. If we used that, the explosion would happen in our face. Instead, we want to use the operator vector ray cast. This operator takes the position and a ray, both vectors. Position and array, both vectors. From the position at which we will be the player's position. Acquirable through the entity position. Okay. So I should be able to delete you and then put a connector here, moving down here, that there. Now why is this? And I put the caster here and then target that. Does that work? No. What if I delete you and put you here? Move that to the target there. And this one says no. Why are you no? God. My dog's at the door. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that, my big puppy. What if we took this off and this off, and we made the ray and the position up, and then we put here operator position, entity position, and it's target, and it's not happy. See, now this one isn't happy, so we delete that and we go here and entity position, and we hit. And then this one needs a target. Ah! Delete and connector and target up. That doesn't count as a target. Go up to here and connect to that. And then this one's not happy. I am so confused. Take that off. Okay. Okay, the max was messing us up. Whew, okay. So I needed to move the max off. So this is our strength here. So we want to change this. Okay, that's too much. 2. Okay, 2 is too much. So we're going to have to go with a 1. There we go. All right. And this trick, no, 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 now. Stop that. Explode. And then we want to get another one of our spell bullets. And then we're going to put this one here. We're going to put our gun back in, put this in, put that back out. And now if we hit C, not with our gun, now we have the explode trick, right? And we can select that. And as you see, it says explode down there. We don't want to explode that. So let's look up here and then we hit that. And it exploded right there, which broke some blocks. Cool. As you can see. And the range is 32 blocks. So you can stand pretty good far away and still hit that one. And that completes our territorial. So we have 3 ones we can do now. We can do entities, which gives us the close point, nearby items. We have numbers, which gives us the ability to divide, subtract, all that kind of stuff. We have to use plus. And then we have the vectors, which gives us a bunch of different vector stuff from that. Ruler, block work. This block sequence. I don't want block sequence. This is what I want. Break block. All right. And basically, it's going to work with the same spell that I have in here right now. The explode trick. Right here. I believe only we'll probably just be able to move the explode off and put the break block right there. We'll see how that works. Anyway, guys, if you like this episode, make sure you smack that like button. If you subscribe to my channel, I'll send you notifications when I have new videos out. Come check them out, see if you like them. If you do like this episode, you want to share it with your friends, tell them what you like. There's a share tab down below. Click on the share tab, copy the link, post it in Facebook, Twitter, wherever you do social media. If you have any tips, tricks, or comments, put it down in the comments down below. I'm not an expert in size, so if you do have any side tricks or tips, please make sure you post them. And I will see you guys on the next episode.